take a walk back to some history. Y'all know I love history. In the 1960s, the action of a brave few is what led to the passing of the Civil Rights Act of 1964. But those men and women who fought for the freedoms for people of all skin colors were treated at times like criminals. So today, Fifth Circuit Solicitor's Office here in Columbia held an expungement ceremony for 7 those who participated in the civil rights movement here in Columbia. News 19 was at the ceremony.
The Honorable Robert Hood presiding.
Before the court today, there are 2 matters. So the matters that are termed the City of Columbia versus Simon Bowie, the City of Columbia versus Charles Barr, et al. Simon Bowie and Thomas Neal entered the Eckerd drugstore that was on Main Street here in Columbia. And on March 14th, 1960, they went and sat at a lunch counter. And they determined as they were sitting at that counter that they wanted to be served as every other patient, every other white patron was served. At that point in time, Your Honor, they were denied service. And they were told that if they didn't leave, that they would be arrested. Your Honor, the next day, which was March 15th, 1960, Charles Barr, again, who was seated in the courtroom, along with David Carter, Richard Counts, Johnny Clark, and Milton Green, determined that they were going to go to the Taylor Street Pharmacy and have lunch at that lunch counter. When they peacefully determined that they were not going to leave the restaurant, Your Honor, to leave that lunch counter, they were arrested and charged with breach of peace, and Mr. Bowie was also charged with resisting arrest. We're here, Your Honor, for the purpose of expunging the records of these men who stood bravely, who sat bravely, quite frankly, in the face of adversity, in the face of threats, in the face of death.
As we expunge their records, we reclaim their narratives. We recognize that these records do not define who they were or what they accomplished. Instead, they remind us of the systemic barriers they fought against and the resilience they embodied.
Almost 60 years I've waited for this day. And I want to say thank you to the solicitor and to the judge and all the staff that made this possible.
You know, who would think that it would take 60 years for everything to be cleared up and us to be recognized, and they take our records away.
I don't think they knew at the time they were making history. But what the students did was they made aware to the country of the inequities and injustice and segregation.
I know the work is not done yet, and as the judge said today, justice is a journey. So it is so, again, just a feeling of mixed emotions, mostly of happiness and joy, but also just recognizing that there's still so much more to be done.
Such a cool moment in history. I love it. I wish all of them were alive today to see that moment. But you know, it's if we don't remember our history, we will repeat our history. So in having that moment today where Byron Gibson, the solicitor, read out the charges that were against them and what they did to move and cause attention and draw more attention to the way African Americans were treated here in downtown Columbia is amazing. Wow. And that after they did it the first day, they had the gall to do it the second. They were like, we're not done yet. We're going back, sitting at a new lunch counter, find a new pharmacy, a new, you know, it's just very cool. So love that.